Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Snakes and Adders Reptile Advice. Today we're going to be looking at scientific names and moreover something called etymology, the meaning of words. And there's a bunch of different parts of scientific names that will crop up that will help us work out the meaning. And people are put off by scientific names. They find them complex or indecipherable, and because of that they then don't bother learning them, or they find that they just can't find that access point to try and, get a light bulb, something clicking moment. And there's also a nasty habit of people, just reptile geeks are bothered about them. When in actual fact, we're herpetoculturists, we enjoy the animals, and there's nothing wrong with learning. It doesn't all just have to stop because you've got to read a book. We can make this, break this down, hopefully make it bite-size, hopefully at the same time make it interesting. What we'll do is we'll take some of these words, I'll write in the part, so whether it could be Greek, it could be Roman, it could be Latin, it could be Sanskrit, it could be French in origin. But anyway, we'll write it in, and then what we'll do is we'll chop and change and mix up some of these words that we use to create Latin names of animals that we keep within the hobby, and hopefully you'll see how it all kind of works together. I've got to try and do this from memory. I've got a couple of notes, but I'm desperate not to use them because I want to prove to myself that I know it. So I'll check I've got a decent marker, and then we shall crack on. So sometimes the words that the naturalist or scientist that's describing it wants to use might be because of the geographical origin of the animal. So we have north, which is borealis. East, which is orientalis. South, which is australis. And west, which is occidentalis. So just to quickly think of some examples there. Borealis, I know that there's a couple of, I think there's a skink in Australia species which is called Borealis. I can't remember the first name. Orientalis, Antaresia stimsoni orientalis, which is the eastern Stimson's python. Australis, so Candoia bibrani australis, the southern Bibron's boa. And then, I forgot the is, occidentalis. Sorry, my fault there. Boa constrictor occidentalis, western boa. It's called the Argentine boa in its common vernacular name, but it's the root of its scientific name is the western boa, or the western population. So boa constrictor occidentalis means western boa constrictor. So we could also look at where they were found, which would be part of their description potentially. So we could look at water, which is hydro, fairly obvious. Land, terrestris, or terra. Bush, tamnos, or tamno. Tree, dendron. Mountain, oros. River, neros. And if maybe they weren't found but more stumbled upon, or they were really well hidden away. And if something's hidden or secret, they use crypto, C-R-Y, crypto, cryptum, crypsis. Okay? The naturalist might want to describe a region of the body. So the head usually would be cephallo. The back, running down the spine, is the dorsum. Belly, ventrum or ventris. Tail, so there's two. There is cordus or corda and urus. That's a stretch there, I nearly forgot that one. Ear, tympano. Teeth, odon. Nose, naseus. Beak, rostrum. Beard is pogon. Eyelash, cilium. Throat, oh here we go, gularis. Neck, column, as in collaris or collar, obviously. Skin or shield, peltis. Shield or scales, aspis. So we're getting there now. You may have even noticed some things that you might recognise from Latin names from animals you keep already. We'll keep going, and then what we're going to do is we'll chop and change and put these back together. But you can see how there is a word rooted in Greek or Latin usually, but that does a descriptive job for us. And sometimes the common name bears no resemblance to what the scientific descriptive name is. And I'll give an example. I gave an example of that the other day. I'll use the same example actually later because it is a good one. So they could describe colours or pigments present on the animal. So white would be leuco or alba. Black would be nigra or melas or melano. Red, this one trips me up. So rufo, rubidum, and erythro. Very, very different, but they all mean red in one way or another. Different blues. Come on, Chaz, think. Regular blue. Ceruleum, which leaves sky blues were cyanea and azure. Green, so a strong green. Viridis. Light green, prasinum. Yellow is flavo, and golden is aurum. Getting there, a fair few words there. Done well so far. Now let's look at my notes once. Pretty buzzing about that. Now I've said that, I'm going to cock up. I know I am. Always do it. Right, okay, so they could also refer to the patternation of the animal, describing features of that pattern. So striped or lined animals, so there's vittata, lineata, or another one which loosely means striped or lined, tenura. Then banded, ringed or belted around the body, so fasciata, annulata, or cinctus. Banded, ringed, belted. Then a fair few different ones and different takes on the same roots for spotted, speckled, saddles and dots. But the ones we'll use for these examples would be maculata, guttata, spilota, and spiloids. Trying to remember the Latin name that features that to make sure I spelt it right. I'm writing them in capitals as well, which makes it harder because I'm used to doing the last parts of the names in lower, what's it called? Lowercase. Okay, So it might not be anything to do with pattern, colour, region, geographic, but it could be descriptive, something that they want to draw your attention to. So in this case, they would use terms for the same. So same, homo, homosexual, 2 males, 2 women. Different, heterosexual. That's the easiest version I can come up with to tell you. So hetero. Strange, something odd. Xeno. False, and their meaning is like the false prophet, but we're going to use it as somebody in mimicry or something that's similar to. So pseudo. Smooth, Leo. Rough, carinata. Wrinkled, rugosa. Elegant, oh, that's a nice one. Elegans, nice and easy. Right, shiny or glossy. You were, oh no, Chaz, of all the things to have forgot. That's right, Lampro. Shiny, glossy, lustrous, looks nice, you know. And then good looking, handsome, myself, of course. Euprepes, this one. So EU is good. So prepes. And then a good swimmer. So this one actually is a genus or a genera. Eunectes, which is the Latin name for the anaconda, which of course is a good swimmer. Then it could also be that they might use the various names throughout history of naming things for snake. I'm trying to remember these keep cocking me up as well. I've run through this a couple of times. So Ophis is probably one of the most commonly run into. Naja is Sanskrit for snake. We know it as a cobra, but just snake. Kaluba is another commonly run into name describing a snake. Natrix, which translates to water snake, more specifically. A boa, which means big snake. And python, which was a mythical giant serpent slain by Apollo in Greek mythology. So you can kind of see where these things come in or come from. And it also might describe status, or they might elevate them and give them status. So it could be Rex or Reg for a king. It could be Regina, which for a queen, which Regina was also a genera. Regina are the crayfish snakes, but they could be called the queen snakes. And then a prince. Part of this king and queen's dynasty is dynasties. Wow, okay, so we got some words there. They all look equally inaccessible, but it might be worth making some notes yourself, just getting a pad and just writing some of these down, because then when you're looking at things, you can sort of test yourself about the things that you've absorbed and you haven't, whether it's the regions of the body, the colours, and you can see how things then get melded together. And what I'm going to do is give you some examples of ones that I have sort of split up, and we'll get to the Latin name and the animal after. So the first one is I'll put it here in with this one: Maculata guttata spilota spiloids of panther or panthro. Means saddled, spotted, same thing. I forgot a box. Bugger. I knew I'd cock something up. So, panther. Ophis. Guttata. Saddled snake. And then it also references the saddles again. Guttata is a form of saddle. So this is what they're doing. Really simple. So its Latin name is Pantherophis. Then another one that's slightly more complex but uses a few of these words, which is why I like it. So we're going to go for where did it occur? Mountain, Oros. It's a very secretive snake. If it's secretive or hidden away, it is crypto. And it's a snake. Ophis. We know this as the bamboo rat snakes, whose genus is Oreocryptophis. Oreocryptophis. Secret mountain snake. Ta-da! Because they live under mats of moss, and they, you don't really come across them that very often. Let's try another one. So this time we'll go for shiny or glossy lamprey. We'll have a bit of skin or shield. This time skin. Peltis. And then we'll go for... Where have you gone? There you go. Annulata. So, annulata. Annulata. This is, we know as the Mexican milk snake. Lamprey, Peltis, annulata. Let's try another one. Let's try River Neros. And we're going to try Fasciata. I've left a gap on purpose because Neros means river or flowing water. We know the genus as Nerodia. That's the root of name. Nerodius fasciata, banded water snake. So we've got pseudo. What was pseudo? Pseudo was false. Zeno, which is strange. Odon, which is tooth. That describes a genera called Pseudoxenodon, which are the false false bamboo cobra. So, but what it's describing is the animal itself. It looks like a Xenodon. Xenodon is a genus from South America. Xenodon means strange teeth. Easy as that. Strange teeth. Now they've already got a Xenodon, and that's South American, but Pseudoxenodon is from Asia, so it's highly unlikely to be a Xenodon. So it's similar. We can see it in the same realm as, but it's not the same. So we'll call it the false pseudo. There we go. Let's have a look at something that's probably going to kill you quite easily. So tree, dendron. And then shield, which is for their big scales on their head. And it's a lovely rich grass green, not a light green. This is the green mamba. Dendro, aspis, viridis. Just all you're doing is picking parts and putting them together. That's all scientific names are. You see them as completely inaccessible, ridiculous. Every one of these words has a meaning. All you do is link them together to create a description of the snake that you're talking about. That's it. It's as easy as that. For years I struggled with bits of it. And this isn't something where you go and study it. I've just learnt it. And it's the sort of stuff that you can read a Latin name and you sort of know what it's going to be like. If it's rubidus or it's erythro, it's red. It's a red animal. So it's simple things. Python, Regus, Royal, Reg. So let's have a look. So let's go for one that plenty of people have got, and we did its family tree the other day. Beard, Pogon. Then stripe, which is Vittata. And head, because it's got a stripe behind each eye, which is Cephalo. So if I said that this is now, you may see it there already, but if I cancelled that bit off, because they don't always use all the words, just parts of it. So Pagona viticeps. So the stripe-headed Pagona, bearded dragon, and it's got the two lines that run behind the eyes. Then where are we? So let's have a go at, this is a weird one, but it's cool because it uses some of these strange ones. So tympano crypto lineatus or lineator. Tympanocryptis lineator, the lined earless dragon. Easy. Let's have another one. So let's go for water, hydro. Let's go for something elevated, sexy, dynasties. And the big buggers, so let's call them gigas, or it could be major or gigantea. The giant water prince, we know it as false water cobra. So that's its name, that's the root of its name. Or prince of the water, prince of the river. Which is wicked. Water prince, or the river prince. That's so cool, man. Right, next one. A lot of you keep them. They're rear fanged, little huffy puffy guys. So let's go for... where are you? I keep losing bits. Different. Hetero. Odon. Naceus. Different. Teeth. Nose. Or big nose. Or something interesting about the nose. Western hognose. Different teeth. Rear flanked pair of elongate teeth that are different to the rest of the denture. The dentition within the mouth. So, hetero, different, teeth, odon. Remember, we've already had a xeno-odon. Okay? Let's go for something else now. So, let's go for Leo. And let's see how this interacts with the previous name we've just done. Hetero, odon. Smooth, different teeth. Smooth snake with different teeth. And it sort of draws it in. We've got that bit of that nose coming as well. But they were describing the scales. Let's go for... Where are we? Let's go for... Nigra, which is another word for black. Yeah, there we go. So Nigra ventris or ventrum. So Nigra ventrum, Nigra ventris. This is a subspecies of Uromastyx or dab-tailed lizard from Morocco, and its Latin name is Nigra ventris, and that means it's got a black belly. Another word for belly, where are we? Where did I put belly? Ventrum is gaster. So we can use the other word for black, melano or melas, and we can use gaster. And there's a boa called Melanogaster, and that means black belly too. And then we could maybe look at another colour. So red, erythro, erythrogaster. Red belly. It's a type of American water snake called erythrogaster, which means red bellied. There's a lot of words to take in there. Let's think and see if we can come up with some examples. So, Hydrosaurus, the sailfin dragons. terra or terrestris. So I believe that there's a garter snake called Tamnophis terrestris, which I think is the common garter, or one of the, like the inland garter, or some land back. Well, it describes the fact it likes land. Tamnos, so that ties into that again. Tamnophis is a garter snake, but it doesn't mean anything to do with water, which is odd because they're nearly always found by water. Tamnophis means bush snake. Tamno. Ophis. Tree. Dendro or dendron. So let's think of dendrobates, the poison arrow frogs, or dendrophila, which is a type of boiga, a cat snake, which we know as the mangrove snake, and it means tree lover. Dendrophila or philia. Oros we've covered, Neros we've covered, Crypto we've covered. Cephalo. So if I said aspidites, so we can probably do this somewhere. So aspis, shield, then which describes its head scales, and then Milano, black, Cephalus, black-headed python. Okay. Dorsum, dorsalis. So the desert iguana, which I've forgotten the genus name. Oh no, it's gone. But its species name is dorsalis, describing a rib of scales that run down the back. Gastro and ventrum we've done. Cordus, so longicorda is a subspecies of boa constrictor, the long-tailed boa. Eurus, so we can do Melas, Eurus, and we could say black-tailed crebo, which is Drymarchon Melano Orus. That's all we're doing. Tympano we've done, which is an ear. Odon we've done. Nasius we've done. Pogon. Okay, so Cilium, but it's very similar. They don't always use it exactly as it is, but Corylopus ciliatus, the eyelash gecko, or the eyelashed Corylopus, referring to the crest as we call it. Gularis, okay, so let's put a colour with that. Flavo gularis, yellow throat. Albo gularis, white throat. Varanus, albo gularis, white throat monitor. Column, colaris. Crotophytus colaris, collared lizard, literally. Peltis, you got a few there, so we could do, we've done Lampropeltis, where are we, Lampro, but we could also do Xenopeltis, strange skin, and it describes the sunbeam snake and how it refracts all the colours and makes it look like oil on water. Aspis, shields and scales I think we've done. Weirdly enough, so Dendrobates leucomelas, we would translate that as black and white, but it's not black and white, it's black and yellow. Well, at least the ones we see are. We call them bumblebees. So they really should be Flavomelanus or Flavonegra, would make more sense. But they're Melanoleucus, so which makes no sense. But then science doesn't always. Nigra, Lampropeltis nigra, Eastern Black King. So Rufo dorsatum. Oh, we can do that. We can use that. So there is a type of rat snake which is a Rufo dorsatum, red-backed rat snake. Prefers frogs. It's a bit of a weird one. You don't see it a huge amount, but you know. Rubidus is another type of indigo or crebo, which is a subspecies, I think, or Texan, the Texan indigo, which is rubidum, and that describes its throat. Cyanea, Boiga cyanea, Azurius, which is Dendrobates azurius. This one, Carulium, is for the white tree frog or dumpy tree frog, Litoria carulium. Viridis, Bufo viridis, Dendroaspis viridis, there's a few of them. Prasinum, light green, so we could go for Varanus prasinus, which is the green tree monitor. Yellow, so Flavo, so we could go for yellow lined rat snake, which involves yellow and a line. Flavro lineata, There we go. Aurum, golden tree frog, Dendroaspis auratus, which is not gold. There you go. So Vittata, Basiliscus vittatus, which is the brown basilisk, actually translates to the striped basiliscus. Lineata. So these can actually have, oh, and these, I forgot that one. This is, I'm glad that we got it. So we can also involve numbers or multiples of. So we could say 2, for example, bi. So bi vittatus. Burmese python is python bi vittatus. It has nothing to do, the description has nothing to do with Burma or anything else. What it has to do with is the 2 stripes that run above its eyes, bi vittatus. And by extension to that, you could call the pagona bi vittatus as well. Or we could call the Burmese python viticeps. It all depends on the naturalist that described it, but essentially they're describing the same thing, which are head stripes. And then also we could go for 4, so quattro or quattor. So quattor lineata, Elaphe quattor lineata is the European four-lined rat snake. And then tenura, we have Orthriophis tenurus, which is the striped-tailed rat snakes. Where are we? Fasciata, so Nerodia fasciata we've done. Annulata we've done. Cinctus. So Hemitheconyx cordicinctus, which is the African flat-tailed gecko. Corda, tail. Cinctus, belted tail, the rings, the annulations running round. But they look like belt straps with the little tubercular scales that they've got going on. Maculata, or maculosa, so Antaresia maculosa, spotted python. Pantherophis guttata is a corn snake, referring to this. Spilota, Morelia spilota, which is the carpet pythons and the diamond pythons. Spiloids, that is the splodged grey rat snake, or the saddled grey rat snake. And panther or panthero doesn't just describe a panther, it describes a panther's pattern. And you'll actually find, just for interest, look up the Latin name of a giraffe. You'll find that interesting. Descriptive. Okay, so I can't think of Homo off the top of my head. Oh, Homolophus. I'm sure that that's a type of gecko, but I'm doing this just straight off the bat, so it's hard. Pseudo-Xenodon, Pseudo-Elaphe, so false rat snake. Leo smooth we've done, so Leo heterodon. Carinata, so we did that the other day. Elaphe carinata, rough scaled rat snake, but everybody knows it as a king rat or a stinking goddess. So the common names literally mean nothing when it comes to scientific names, which is why it's kind of important to know some of these bits and these basics. Rugosa, so Teliloquia rugosa, which is the shingleback skink, but the wrinkly skink, basically, because he's so rough and so many different bumps and scales. Arizona elegans, so the glossy snake. Lampro, so we can have Lampropeltis, which we've done, or we can have Lamprophis, so shiny snake. Lamprophis, house snake, as easy as that. Euprepes, so Euprepes ophis, Euprepiophis, which is Mandarin rat snake, which literally means good looking snake, which it is. And then Eunectes we've already discovered, which is the genus for the anacondas. So Rex, right, so yeah, we've done them genus, so I think we've got that covered. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. It's not as complex as you think. These look like big words that you can't digest, but they literally just mean stuff. So when you see Tamno, or you see, like, there's a South American snake, and its Latin name is Tamno dynasties. It's the bush prince. It enjoys, king of the bushes. It's cool, man. There's a bit of art to it, a bit of, you know, Shakespeare. It's ace. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's stuff that I find really interesting, and I hope I made it slightly more digestible for you. We'll be back with another video soon. I'm enjoying doing these, especially with the scales and all this sort of stuff. If you're enjoying them, let us know. Thanks for the continued support. Me and Paul are always so pleased with the support that people give us. It means an awful lot to us, and please feel free to share the video as well and spread the knowledge. Thanks guys, from Chaz and Mr. P at Snakes and Adders. Peace.